A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a significant development for the political landscape of the United States, the Supreme Court has announced it will hear a Republican-led challenge to federal limits on campaign spending in the upcoming term, which begins in October. This case, known as NRSC v. Federal Elections Commission, has the potential to reshape the way political parties can financially support their candidates, particularly as the nation gears up for the 2026 midterm elections. The heart of the matter lies in whether the current caps on coordinated party expenditures violate the First Amendment's free speech protections. Currently, Congress imposes strict limits on how much political parties and campaign organizations can spend in direct coordination with candidates, a measure aimed at preventing corruption and undue influence in federal elections. The Republican National Senatorial Committee, NRSC, and the National Republican Congressional Committee, NRCC, are at the forefront of this challenge, arguing that these spending limits hinder their ability to effectively support their candidates. The committee chairman, Representative Richard Hudson and Senator Tim Scott, have expressed their approval of the Supreme Court's decision to take up the case, stating, "The government should not restrict a party committee's support for its own candidates." They contend that these coordinated expenditure limits infringe upon the First Amendment rights of political parties. The implications of this case are profound, as a ruling in favor of the Republicans could lead to a significant increase in coordinated spending for the upcoming midterms, which could alter the dynamics of political campaigns across the country. The Democratic National Committee, DNC, has voiced strong opposition to this challenge, asserting that removing spending caps would sow chaos and fundamentally upend our campaign finance system. DCCC Chair Susan DelBene and DSCC Chair Kirsten Gillibrand emphasized their commitment to fighting against what they perceive as an attempt by Republicans to undermine the electoral process. They argue that such changes would allow wealthier parties to drown out the voices of ordinary voters, thereby skewing the democratic process. The current limits on coordinated expenditures vary by state, with caps ranging from $127,200 to $3,946,100 for Senate races, depending on the state's voting age population. For House candidates, the limits are set at $127,200 in states with a single representative and $63,600 in others. These figures highlight the disparities in campaign financing that exist across the nation and underscore the contentious nature of campaign finance reform. The Supreme Court's decision to hear this case comes against the backdrop of its 2010 ruling in Citizens United v. FEC, which allowed for unlimited independent expenditures by corporations and outside groups, framing such spending as a form of free speech. However, the legality of coordinated spending between candidates and political parties remains a contentious issue, as it touches on the balance between free speech and the need for fair electoral practices. The Trump administration has shown support for the challenge, with Vice President J.D. Vance, who was a Senate candidate at the time the lawsuit was initiated, playing a central role in the proceedings. The Justice Department has also indicated its support for the appeal, requesting the court to address the matter given the department's shift in stance on the issue. As the Supreme Court prepares to deliberate on this case, the political world is watching closely. The outcome could not only influence the financial strategies of political parties but also redefine the landscape of campaign finance law in the United States. With the 2026 elections on the horizon, the stakes are high, and both parties are gearing up for a battle that could have lasting implications for American democracy. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.